Oh, interesting. So I watched this when it was on TV when I was a kid. It must have been on Channel 4 or something. So it was, oh, there's a cartoon and it's sci-fi. Okay, I'll watch it because I love sci-fi. And I think it's quite mature, definitely mature compared to sort of what Disney was putting out at that time. And it was I kind of hated it, and it was like kind of scary, and a lot of things stuck with me. Like I remembered loads of images, even though I've only seen it once. About it must be like 30 years ago now. There were like I remembered almost everything from the film because it's so striking. So that was interesting. The only thing I didn't remember was the songs. They completely surprised me. And I think even if you do remember them, they'd surprise you because it's so bizarre, these two random songs in it. Yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed watching it actually the second time as an adult. So how about you, Lars? What did you think about your first watch?
I loved the ideas, and like a lot about it. The designs, of course, the look, everything. I don't know how well it aged, or if it's. I think it's 75 minutes, so very short, but it feels longer. It's a bit slow. So I kept thinking. Um, this is awesome. But I wish there'd be a remake. But yeah, the design is great. The world is great. The ideas are great, and I love just the concept of creepy kids films, because I know that because I read up on it. I know that the director intended this to be made for a wide audience, and to be a film that kids can watch, which I think is quite funny, because if you really look at it, it doesn't behave like a kids film usually does it?
Mm. Yeah, it's hideous in some parts, like disturbing as an adult, never mind as a kid.
Yeah.
And what did you reckon, Hamza?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was a little bit. It took me a while to get used to how slow it was, to be honest.
Mm.
But I think that might just be, to be quite honest with you, just the mood I was in at that time. Like I think another night, if I watched it, and particularly if I had have known, maybe if I had done a bit of research and gone, oh, it's this weird kind of Hungarian French, like Mobius inspired sci-fi bit of kind of craziness, I might have, lit one up and had a very different experience. But like, yeah, I really liked it. I thought the ideas, as you said, the ideas were great. What I think I liked the most about it, outside of anything kind of cerebral or anything like that, was just it just felt like a dream. It felt like I was watching a dream, and usually you only remember parts of the dream. Whereas this, I got to watch the whole dream play out rather than just remember bits of a dream. And it definitely felt it had a real, maybe because of the kind of the sort of length of it and the pace of it, because it was short but slow. It gave it a kind of a dreamlike quality for me.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Lars, that it's dated and it is slow, and it could definitely, just the way it's delivered as well. Like I don't know if you watched it in the original French, or because I saw it in the English dub, and I found it in the English dub, and it's like, it's just that kind of cheap 80s where some of them are better actors than others, where it's like, we need to go and rescue him. Yeah. Oh no. So like that makes it feel sort of really slow. So yeah, I did feel it a bit slow when I was watching it, but yeah, I love the ideas as well, and that's why it's stuck in my head, because some of the imagery in it is really amazing, but it isn't paced like an action film. It's paced more like a horror film in some ways.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. At 2 points in this film, I felt like, or I thought, is this made to deliberately make me fall asleep? There was one scene in which they just showed, I think, a house in which the characters stayed, and the sun go down for a long time, and there was nothing to hear but the crickets or something, and then there's one of the two songs when the only woman in the film sang a lullaby, and they had that play out for the entirety of the song. At both points, I thought this is slow already, but now you're really stretching it.
Yeah, the thing that I thought about that is with like when you have static shots and it's like the sun going down, that I can understand maybe they put stuff like that in because it's cheaper, because it's just this, let's watch this picture for a while. But then they have a scene where Jafar and the prince's sister, they go swimming, and it's obviously kind of rotoscoped from people actually swimming, and the muscles are all detailed, and it's like, but it's also really slow as well, and it's like they had to choose to animate all of that stuff. It's such an interesting thing to think about. Why did they have them swimming? It adds nothing to the plot whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's like, why animate that? Like, it's such a weird decision.
I thought at that when that scene came, I thought, all right, the obligatory romance is going to start now, right? So they're clearly going to have sex now, but then they didn't. They just swam. The end.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But what were the ideas in it that you guys loved? Then what stood out for you?
I mean, the kind of end thing about Peel being Silbad was great. I mean, I kind of saw it coming just before it happened. I kind of saw it coming, but like, I still really enjoyed that. That was cool. That was a cool idea. I think the different planets and like these creatures that come out of like a flower and turn into like these telepathic things, and they feel sick when people have negative thoughts and stuff. That's pretty much how I feel when people say negative shit. So there was just so every kind of scene had interesting ideas, and I think the animation style really suited those ideas. And yeah, I thought it's not just one thing. I think every scene kind of had some cool stuff in it, and I actually quite liked the kind of bad voice acting. It kind of added to my effect of feeling like I was asleep. Like, it just kind of, so I thought it kind of held together really well, like with that animation style, with that I mean, obviously I saw the British dub. Maybe if I found the version in French with subtitles that didn't, that works, that maybe it might be different a bit. Like when you watch, like I find when I watch a Kung Fu movie, if I watch it in subtitles, it's way more serious. And if I watch the dub version, it is comedy dubbing.
Oh yeah,
it's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I too, I guess would have to say I loved pretty much every idea, and there were many ideas in this. So the basic setup of there being a kid who only has like a speaker with them, and they have to guide this kid through a very dangerous situation in a very dangerous place, and they will take some time to reach the kid. I thought that's a great setup. That's a great setup to a suspenseful movie. Then all the designs, the planet, the glowing plants in the beginning, the characters even. I think this film had a lot of, like, just going by the basic ideas, there was a lot in this that would make it a mainstream, potentially mainstream successful film. Like we have the Han Solo character, who is the lead, the smuggler guy. Then we have a great villain who even gets some kind of a redemption arc in the middle. We have the kooky old mentor figure who's funny, and I really liked his character. And the twist involving him, and even though it was just like for 5 minutes in the film, they spoke about the Time Masters, and then they introduced this whole new concept. I wish they had established that earlier, because there was this one scene when they said, "Oh wow, look, there's a Time Master," and then there was a musical cue, and we saw this green figure, and I thought, I wish that this would mean something to me, because the film wants it to mean something. So, but everything they did was potentially great, and I thought they just at some points just missed the mark. but yeah, all the ideas I thought were great. And bizarrely, even though I would say this film is too slow for me, I thought maybe they should have dropped, like in the middle they go off into a completely new adventure on this planet where everyone looks like angels and is controlled by a hive mind. And I think maybe they should have gotten rid of that and fleshed out the dangerous planet the kid has to survive on a bit more. Maybe the narrative could have been more streamlined, and maybe that would have been more interesting. And I don't know, some more characterization taking place would probably have gone a long way.
Yeah, I can I can see that working more, and it's interesting because it is actually based on a novel. That was written by a French writer called Stéphane Wool, and he wrote L'Orpheline de Perdide in 1958. And apparently I did a little bit of research, and apparently they did change quite a bit. Like the villain, the prince who sort of gets his redemption, in the book he just dies a horrible death. So it does sound like they actually made it into a better narrative with the changes, and the ending twist is the same, but like the mechanics of it is different, and to me, from reading the summary, it doesn't make any sense. The idea that because they were traveling towards the planet Perdide at light speed, that meant that they got there late, but it doesn't explain how the kid left the planet and then got on that ship. Like it's more scientifically true, but also doesn't work at all. So yeah, Time Masters was just completely thrown in, because the music is, I love the music. What music, like the non like Disney song music, the sort of like 80s Vangelis kind of synth stuff. But yeah, I have that same experience. Like I remember the image of the Time Master, and he goes, "Look, it's a Time Master," and there's this massive sting, and then you just see it's just this like giant green alien in a bathrobe with like a head shaped like a hairdryer, and it like looks so funny and not at all like, wow, a master of time.
See, but I think that just adds to my this is like a dream.
Yeah.
That's I mean, that to me that all seemed very much part of how this film's narrative kind of ran, where it was just like, oh, and now this, and now this, and now this, and here's this, and here's a half-baked idea here, and I thought for me, the way I was watching it anyway, the only thing I could do without is the songs. Really didn't need those. But other than that, I kind of, I think I'll be watching it again, but probably a lot later at night. It felt like a really late night film to watch, like something you stick on at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
to like freak someone out a bit and be like, what is this shit?